back to Bite-Sized Crime, the podcast where we dive into true crime cases, but bite-sized. I'm Olivia.
And I'm Eva. And remember, never trust anyone too easily.
Today's case is eerie, confusing, and honestly still creeps us out to this day. We're talking about Elisa Lam. Elisa Lam, a Canadian student whose mysterious disappearance and death at the infamous Cecil Hotel in Los Angeles sparked countless theories, documentaries, and Reddit threads. Even now, over a decade later, people aren't satisfied with the official explanation.
But before we get into it, just a heads up. Today's episode involves discussions of mental illness, death, and sensitive topics like suicide. If that feels like too much for you today, please take care of yourself, and we'll catch you in the next episode.
Elisa Lam was a 21-year-old university student from Vancouver, British Columbia. She was the daughter of immigrants from Hong Kong and was studying at the University of British Columbia. In January 2013, she set off on what would she call a West Coast tour, traveling from San Diego to San Francisco and finally to Los Angeles. Her trip was meant to be a break from school, a chance to clear her head and explore new cities.
Elisa was active online. She had a blog called Ever Fields and then later moved on to Tumblr with an account named Nouvelle Nouveau. She wrote in detail about her day-to-day thoughts, fashion, and mental health. She was open about her struggles with bipolar disorder and depression. In one post she quoted, "You're always haunted by the idea that you're wasting your life." Her writing was vulnerable and often heart-wrenching, especially as she talked about relapsing in school and how it made her feel like a failure.
She'd been diagnosed with bipolar disorder and was prescribed 4 medications: Wellbutrin, lacetamol, Seroquel, and Effexor. But her family later revealed that she had a history of not consistently taking them as prescribed. This has led to severe mood swings, hallucinations, and even hospitalization in the past.
On January 28, 2013, Elisa checked into the Cecil Hotel in downtown Los Angeles. If you ever heard of the Cecil, let us paint a picture for you. It's a historic hotel that opened in the 1920s, but over the decades it became known for its incredibly dark history. Suicides, overdoses, murders. The building practically breathes bad vibes, and locals started calling it the Suicide.
And it's not just an urban legend. Richard Ramirez, the infamous Night Stalker, actually lived there during his killing spree in 1985. Another serial killer, Jack Unterweger from Austria, also stayed there, allegedly murdering sex workers while pretending to be a crime journalist. Even Elizabeth Short, aka the Black Dahlia, was reportedly seen at the Cecil shortly before her death. The building has such a sinister reputation that it inspired the setting for American Horror Story Hotel.
Elisa was originally placed in a shared room on the hotel's 5th floor, but after only 2 nights, her roommates asked her to be moved. They reported that she was acting erratically, writing strange notes like "go away" and "leave now," hiding their stuff and locking them out of the room. Hotel staff then moved her to a private room.
On January 31st, the day Elisa was supposed to check out and head to Santa Cruz, she disappeared. Her parents became worried almost immediately that she didn't call them that day, something she promised to do daily. They contacted the LAPD and shortly after flew to Los Angeles to help find her.
Police searched the hotel but didn't find anything suspicious. They checked public areas and even brought in sniffer dogs, but the search didn't turn up anything. And since there was no evidence of foul play, they didn't have legal rights to search every room.
Days passed with no answers. Flyers were posted around the city. Social media picked up the case. Local news stations started reporting on it. Then, nearly 2 weeks later, LAPD released a piece of footage that took the internet by storm.
The elevator video. It's haunting, bizarre, and still widely viewed to this day. In it, Elisa steps into the elevator and starts pressing multiple buttons. But the doors don't close, which is odd. She peeks outside, then hides in the corner and continuously steps in and out of the elevator, and then makes some odd hand movements, almost like she's talking to someone, or something. The entire video lasts about 4 minutes, and it ends with her walking away.
Viewers were obsessed. Was she high? Was she being followed? Was there something paranormal going on? Some believe she was playing a Korean urban legend known as the elevator game, where you press floors in a certain order, you supposedly open a gateway to another dimension.
But when the toxicology report came out, it showed no illegal drugs or alcohol in her system, just traces of prescribed medications, and not all of them. Experts later said that her behaviour in the video might be explained by a manic episode, possibly worsened by skipping medication.
Here is where the story takes an even darker turn. On February 19th, nearly 3 weeks after she vanished, the guests of Cecil started complaining about water. It was black, smelling foul, and it had strange taste. Hotel staff sent maintenance worker Santiago Lopez to check the water tanks on the roof.
And that's where he found Elisa's body, floating face up in one of the 4 tanks. She was undressed, her clothes and belongings floating nearby. The lid to the tank was closed, and to get up there, she would have to pass through a locked alarm door or climb up the fire escape. Then, she'd need to scale a 10-foot or 3-meter tall ladder and lift a heavy lid. And somehow, it closed behind her.
Her death was ruled an accidental drawing, with her bipolar disorder listed as a contributing factor. But some people didn't buy it. How did she get up there alone? Why was the lid closed? Why did no one see her? And if she was having a mental health crisis, how did she make it through all those obstacles?
There were other odd details too. Her room was found with her belongings left behind. Papers were scattered across the bed and desk. Some described her behaviour in the days before her disappearance as erratic, while others, like bookstore employee Katie Orphan, said she seemed happy, friendly, and even excited about buying gifts for her family.
There's also the letter Elisa sent to Conan O'Brien's show. She intended a live taping and reportedly sent a handwritten note that concerned staff and asked to have security remove her. That detail was only confirmed years later.
And then there's the Tumblr mystery. Elisa's post kept updating even after her death, sparking rumours that someone else had access to her account, or that she was somehow still alive. But it was eventually confirmed those were scheduled posts that she'd queued before she had died.
Elisa's family tried to sue the hotel for negligence, claiming they didn't do enough to protect her or secure the building, but the case was dismissed. The judge ruled that what happened was unforeseeable and that the hotel couldn't be held responsible.
Still, people are continuing to speculate. Was it really an accident? Was someone else involved? Or did she experience a severe psychotic break that led to her death on the roof? Or are we missing something critical?
Netflix even released a documentary called Crime Scene, The Vanishing at Cecil Hotel, that explores the case, the internet theories, and the dark history of the building. But even with all the attention, there's still no definitive answer.
Elisa's story is more than a mystery. It's also a reflection of how society treats mental illness and how vulnerable people can fall through the cracks in the most tragic ways.
We may never know what happened to Elisa Lam, but her case continues to haunt, fascinate, and break hearts all around the world.
That's all for today's episode of Bite Size Crime. Have you got your own theory of what happened to her? Be sure to drop a comment down below. We'd love hearing from you guys.
Don't forget to follow, rate, and share our podcast. We'll be back next week with another chilling case.
Until then, stay safe, stay curious, and remember, never trust anyone too easily.